After defeating the British Army to secure its independence, the fledgling United States might have been overthrown when disgruntled U.S. officers planned a military coup. Enter Continental Army Commander George Washington, who saved the day once again. After gaining a decisive victory at Yorktown in 1781, thousands of Continental Army soldiers gathered in a military camp at Newburgh, New York, on the banks of the Hudson River. They were on alert for a new British offensive, but an attack never came. As the days went by, the soldiers had plenty of time on their hands to consider their future and nurse their grievances. Tensions had been brewing between the Continental Army and Congress throughout the war. Lack of pay, lack of supplies, and now Congress was dragging its heels over pensions for those who had served. For soldiers and the Army's top officers alike, enough was enough. In the camp, angry letters began to circulate among the men, and an anonymous pamphlet said that if Congress did not sign off on officer pensions, the Army should either disband immediately, leaving the new country without a military, or refuse to disband and march on Congress. It was, in essence, a coup. Washington knew that something had to be done, so he called for a meeting on March 15, 1783, implying he would not attend. But he slipped into the meeting just before it began and addressed the men, imploring them not to follow a course of action that threatened everything they had fought for. His speech was so emotional and personal that many of the soldiers were moved to tears. By the time he had finished, the anger in the camp had dissipated. Washington, having won the war with bullets and bayonets, had now saved the day with words. Congress compromised, eventually giving the men full pay for 5 years after their service ended. The Newburgh conspiracy, as it became known, was one of the greatest threats to the outcome of the American Revolution. By cooling tempers, Washington stopped the Army from overstepping its bounds and forcing its will on Congress. His actions enshrined the idea that the Army was subordinate to civilian authority and would not play a part in the nation's politics.